Hey, it's Dead Guy Cardboard. I have some pickups I'm excited to show. Should be a short video, but the last one especially is a big pickup. Start off with this card I picked up at I think it was called the Big Apple Card Show. It was a New York City card show. Now that's a big deal for people that live in New York City. Because in the past I would have to go up to White Plains, New York, and it would take 3 hours, 2 hours, 2.5 hours round trip. But this one was in Midtown, next to Madison Square Garden. So I just hopped on a subway train and got there in 15 minutes, and it was great. It was a good sized show. Had a good mix of vintage cards and some modern baseball, and modern basketball, of course, which is always prevalent nowadays. The modern basketball cards. And then Brian B-Ross 6 was there. He had a great setup with just a nice smattering of vintage and modern. It was nice chatting with him. I just picked up one card from that show because I had a big purchase recently. I just wanted to get something at the show, so I just picked up this 2020 Topps Chrome Yordan Alvarez. I think this guy's stuff is pretty undervalued. Got this for about $20. Granted, I think any cards after 2019 or 2019 onward are pretty much junk wax, but I would pick up Chrome cards from 2019 to the present. At least Chrome are a little bit more short printed. This guy he's a stud. Not a lot of people are talking about. I think he's second now in home runs for the season. I picked up this Topps Chrome Sapphire Tyler Stevenson. He's statistically, I think he's actually the second best catcher in the league the last 2 years. Granted, it's only been 2 years, but yeah, this guy, I think, is just. I've talked about him several times on my channel. I know no one cares about catchers, but he can hit. Now the DH being universal, he'll get even more chances to hit and show what he can do. And I don't know, who knows? Maybe he could be the next Johnny Bench. He's a big, strong, powerful catcher. Fairly good defensively, but really good offensively. Then speaking of Cincinnati players, I picked up this 2003 Topps Chrome Black Refractor of Carson Palmer. These are out of just 100. This is a really sharp card. No dimples. Pretty sharp corners. I think this would definitely get a 9, maybe even a 10. I'm a big Carson Palmer fan. I think if he was on a different team, I know when he went to the Raiders and the Cardinals, but he was on the Bengals for a long time. We had some pretty good teams then. I mean, we had Chad Johnson and T.J. Houshmandzadeh and Rudy Johnson, but we never went anywhere in the playoffs. And then he had that injury. But I think if he was on a different team or on the Bengals of now, he could be a Hall of Famer because I think he was that good. I mean, he was a Heisman Trophy winner, had a rocket of an arm, good head on his shoulders. But he's a fringe Hall of Famer right now. I don't think he'll get in, but I was happy to pick up that card because that does not pop up very often. And then I picked up this beautiful card, trying to get into vintage basketball cards. I love vintage basketball cards. Honestly, growing up, I was bigger into the history of basketball than I was baseball. I mean, I was always watching like Pete Maravich VHS tapes. I remember I had the top 50 NBA player tapes that I used to watch, the greatest hits. But Tiny Nate Archibald is a Hall of Famer, and he played on the short-lived Cincinnati Royals. Rest in peace. The Royals, I think they got traded away, I want to say like mid-70s to Milwaukee. We had some, I think it was Milwaukee, yeah. We had some great players, though. We had Oscar Robinson and this guy. I don't know why he was nicknamed Tiny Nate Archibald, because he's 6'1", which is not that small for a guard, especially back then. But love the look of this card. I mean, love the 70s font. This is a really good looking example. That's why I picked it up raw. I don't normally pick up raw cards, especially vintage cards, but this has a fairly good chance of, I think, getting an 8, if not a 7. A lot of Archibald cards have like a print dot here, but this one's really clean. Happy to pick that up. I have to get this in a penny sleeve, though. It came with just a card saver 1. Then last, but certainly not least, this is a big card for me. I almost never sell any of my cards, but I did sell a card for this, to help pay for this at least. I sold the Acuna bat down card when he got called back up. Just thought, I didn't really want to get rid of it, but if I had to get rid of that card, I wanted to pick it up for another Braves player. Thought that was a good time to sell, and this one kind of popped up by chance. I actually picked this card up. I bought this card online maybe 18, 20 hours after my daughter was born. I was very tired, trying to stay awake, so I was just kind of flipping through stuff on Facebook. I don't usually go on Facebook groups that often, and this popped up, and I had to get it right away because I missed out on it several months ago, and actually it sold for almost the same price that it sold on eBay. But I never hit the alarm on my phone, so I missed out on it, and I was bummed. But anyway, without further ado, from Acuna to Henry Aaron, so stoked to pick this card up. Just an iconic card. One of the just prettiest design cards, I think, in vintage sports cards, period. Especially the Hank Aaron card. Something about the pose, the colors. And I waited a long time to find a card with this kind of eye appeal. 54 tops are just really tough to find centered, and this is pretty well centered. I mean, left to right's almost perfect. Top to bottom could be a little bit more white here, but overall, I would say this is a really well centered 54 tops. And I was searching literally for like 4 or 5 years for a nice 5 or a nice 6. I only came across a couple of these with this type of eye appeal. Hardly any print marks. Just really clean card and like pack fresh color too. The back is a little rough for a 5. I mean, there's some kind of edge wear here and here, but that's fairly common for PSA 5s. And I'm pretty confident this would actually, you could put a new label on this and they would say it's a 5 as well. I know people are hesitant buying older slab cards, but I've seen enough of this card knowing that this would definitely carry over to a 5. But man, I am so happy to have this card. I wanted it for a long time. It's a big addition to my 500 home run and 3,000 hit club set, and just an important card in the hobby anyway. I wish I would have picked up a long time ago. It was a lot cheaper, but it has gone down a little bit since its height. I also remember this card in Sandlots when the ghost of Babe Ruth showed up and asked Benny the Jet Rodriguez for his card, and Benny stupidly gave it to him. But yeah, big addition, gorgeous example, and that is it. Have a great day.